Okay, so here we are. I'm heading for the South Waikato District Council for the meeting, and we'll see if they are going to preserve my right, my inalienable right to attend a public meeting and to record events that take place in a public space. Because during a public meeting, the council chambers becomes a public place, and I have a right under the Act of Parliament to attend public meetings of the council. Let's see if they respect that right. G'day and welcome back to the channel. Now, this is not a hobby video, although it is related to the issues the hobby is going through at the moment. I want to talk about rights and freedoms. Now, we tend to take these for granted. You know, we've got the right to do this, the right to do that, the freedom to do whatever. But the problem is, if we don't exercise those rights, if we don't use them, they will atrophy and disappear through lack of use. And I'm going to show you today, I've had a lot of trouble with our local council. I think regular viewers to this channel will know our local council doesn't like me, and to be honest, I'm not a great fan of them. Because back in the old days, back in the old days, there was a thing called public service. And people were elected to positions of public service, such as mayors and councillors, and they were employed in the public servant position as members of the bureaucracy and the workforce that councils and governments use to meet the needs of the people who employed them, who you and me, the public who pay taxes, employ these people. They are public servants. Well, that's the way it used to be. It seems to be long gone, that concept. The concept of providing a public service to the people who employ you, to the public, is dead and buried. Now, we have a bunch of bureaucrats who their mantra basically seems to be, what's the point in having power if you can't abuse it? And that's what's happened. We have bureaucrats and elected officials who simply don't understand why they're there or who they are working for. Now, as I say, I've had problems with our local council. They don't like me, and I've got to say, I'm not their biggest fan. They had our control tower, or the mayor had our control tower destroyed just to suit a petty vendetta that she had against me. That's an abuse of power, a gross abuse of power. So I have been going to council meetings and recording the meetings. But this is the response I got. And first of all, now let me tell you, why would I go to a council meeting and record it? Well, because this is the kind of response I get to the local council. Now, this is something some of you will have seen before. I went to the council proposing that we run an event that would have attracted hundreds of people from around the world to this little town. And all these people would come with their wallets, their money. They'd spend money in the town. They'd stay in motels and hotels. They would basically eat food. So all this money would go into the local economy. This council has said, oh, we want to promote the local economy. We want visitors. In fact, they've just spent $500,000 rebranding to attract visitors. So you'd think if someone like me came along and said, look, I'm prepared to do all the hard work, organise it all, run it all at no cost to anybody, they'd be welcoming that opportunity. But no, because it's me, this is the response I got.
Are you prepared to provide council with the database of all your alleged friends who want to use our airfield? And furthermore, are you prepared to put money where your mouth is and place a decent deposit of at least a six-figure sum in order for us to be confident that the numbers are there? Are you prepared to do either of those things?
So as you can see, there are good reasons why they don't want me to record the way they treat the people they're supposed to be serving. And so when I went to a meeting recently with my camera to film events, this is what the mayor on the left and the chief executive officer on the right said.
Mr. Simpson, I do notice that you are filming this council meeting and the speakers. I do need to highlight to you that you are required to get the permission of those whom you are filming before broadcasting.
No, you don't. And of course that's patently untrue. They can't stop me from filming. So I wanted to go and film some more of a meeting, so I thought I will send the chief executive an email just advising her, out of courtesy, solely out of courtesy. I'm going to advise her that I intend to come to this meeting and film. Here's what that email said. Dear Ms. Law, the Chief Executive, this email is simply a courtesy to let you know that I may be present at tomorrow's meeting of the SWDC, that's the South Waikato District Council, in order to video the public parts of the meeting. As we have already established, I have a legal right, thanks to the New Zealand Bill of Rights and rulings of the Privacy Commissioner, to engage in such videography. I would advise councillors, members of staff, or others who may not wish to be included in the video not to attend the meeting. The video will be used to document the meeting as a matter of public interest and may be posted to social media for that purpose. So that was the courtesy I gave the chief executive by basically telling her, I'm coming. If there's people there that are all upset and don't want to be in the video, then they should not attend. It's their choice. And here was her response. Dear Mr. Simpson, thank you for your email. I've consulted with the chair of the meeting. He has declined to give you approval to video the council meeting. The procedures in relation to council meetings and the videoing thereof is advised outside the council chamber. Yours sincerely, Susan Law, Chief Executive. So she was saying the chair, who in this case is the new mayor, had declined to give me permission. Well, you know, the great thing is I don't need their permission. It's a free country and I have a right enshrined in legislation that allows me to attend a public meeting and allows me to film anything that I see in a public space. And during a public meeting, that venue becomes a public space. So I responded to the chief executive as follows. Hi, Susan. This matter is not up for debate, and you have no right to stop a member of the public filming in a public place, which is what the council chambers become during a public meeting. I refer then to Section 2 of the Summary Offences Act 1981, the legislation, the law as enshrined in statute. Note that if you are relying on standing orders, they do not apply to members of the public. You cannot usurp the rights granted under the Bill of Rights, or you face prosecution for doing so. I would ask, why is the council so averse to having its public meeting made available to ratepayers and the general public? I ask this question especially in light of the fact that a very large sum was approved for the installation and use of video streaming technology that was supposed to bring the SWDC into line with other councils around New Zealand by allowing you to live stream your meetings. Regards, Bruce Simpson. And this is a really important thing. Other councils around the country live stream their meetings through YouTube to anyone that wants to watch them. This council tries to hide whatever it's doing. You can't film, you can't film. In fact, I got a lawyer's letter from the council saying, we act for the South Waikato district and we have, which has instructed us to write to you on behalf of Her Worship the Mayor, telling me I must remove a video which I took in council chambers featuring the Mayor because it wasn't very nice. Well, I'm sorry, that's just tough bananas, excuse my French. So yeah, so then I went along to the council chambers, as you saw in the intro to this video. I went to the council chambers with my camera. I'd been denied, Ms. Law said, I was denied permission. So I thought, let's put things to the test. Are they just trying to bully me by saying you can't when I know I can? Let's see what the response was when I got to the council chambers.
Before we move into, we have one swearing in to be done, and that's for Councillor Thomas Lee. But before we get to that, Mr. Simpson, I understand that you asked for permission to film. As I'm a new mayor, I'm going to allow that. But that comes with a warning that if anything appears on YouTube that puts council in a negative light, that may have an impact on future filming in the council chambers. Are you happy with that, Mr. Simpson? Well, I'll take that as a yes.
So there you go. For some reason, the chair, who was the mayor, had changed his mind and decided it was okay for me to film on this occasion, providing he might withdraw that right later if I, make the council look bad. Well, I'm sorry, there's only one group that can make the council look bad, and that is the council themselves. And he can't withdraw my rights. He cannot usurp the protections enshrined in law. I can film whether he wants me to or not. And you notice I didn't answer his question when he asked, because if I had agreed to what he'd said, it could have been interpreted as a contract that was formed verbally, which meant that I agreed not to film again if I posted something that painted the council in a bad light. I was not prepared to accept that contract, so I just remained silent. So there we go. I exercised my right, and by doing so, it strengthened that right. Now I know, and anyone else knows, they can go to this council, they can film the meeting, and there's not a thing the council can do to stop them. Hopefully the outcome from this will be that the council then uses the over $250,000 worth of equipment that they purchased apparently for streaming their meetings and haven't used hopefully they will start streaming those meetings and I won't have to go and record them. But this is basically the bottom line. If you have these freedoms that you know are there and you don't use them, they will be usurped. People will bully you into believing that you've lost those freedoms. There are auditing channels, hundreds of auditing channels on YouTube, which I'm not a great fan of auditing, but sometimes they do serve a useful role. They put people's rights to the test because on many occasions, even the police are unaware of the protections that the public have and the rights that they have and the freedoms they have. And the police sometimes incorrectly act as if those freedoms didn't exist. Everyone needs to be reminded, you have freedoms, use them or lose them. And that comes whether it's regulating model aircraft or whether it's filming in a public place. All these things must be protected. So I would invite you all to make sure that you do protect those rights. And I thank you for watching this video, and we'll return you to your normal programming now because this is just something I wanted you to see. I lost the fight over the tower because the mayor, the former mayor now, she decided to abuse the power. She, as I said, some bureaucrats and politicians think, what's the point of power if you can't abuse it? Well, she chose to abuse it and destroyed a public asset, which was a draw card to the town. And yeah, so go for it. That's it. That battle I lost, but obviously this battle I won. I won because I stuck to my guns. I would not back down because I knew I was in the right. Did my homework, did my research, read all the law, and I knew that I was on solid ground. So the right has been protected and strengthened as a result of that. Thank you for watching. Go to the comments. Now, I would normally put these videos on my other channel, as I said, the Bruce Simpson channel. If you're not a subscriber to that, go and subscribe. There'll be a link down there because once I get to the right level of subscribers, then I can make longer videos like this one. Instead of putting them on this channel, I can keep all the hobby stuff here and put all my social warrior stuff on the other channel where if you don't want to watch it, you won't be annoyed seeing this pop up in your feed. Thank you for watching. Give me your comments. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, recommend it to others. Remind everybody that if you don't exercise your rights, you will lose them. They're like muscles. You've got to exercise them. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.